When it comes to uploading your files for your novels on KDP or any of the printers and distributors in the publishing industry, are you using two separate files for your physical book and your ebook, or are these the same? I got this question in my inbox this week and I wanted to break it down with some tips and tricks you may not know, especially if you are a beginner author. So let's take a look at what this actually means. When you are uploading these files, some of these companies will give you the opportunity to upload one and they will transform it into the other. Do not do this. Do not ever do this. Because when that happens, we typically see wonky layouts. We're going to see things skewed a little bit. We're going to see weird pixelation. It's never a good idea to do this. So always upload two independent files, one for the physical book, one for the ebook. And this is true of both the manuscript and your cover. You want to make sure you have independent files of these things. So if you're not creating them yourself, your designer, your formatter, whatever, should be giving you files for both of these things. Now, it doesn't matter which one you start with. You can do the ebook first, you can do the physical book first. It does not matter which you start with, but you're going to upload the manuscript and you're going to upload the cover image. Again, separate files. For your cover image on your physical manuscript, this is going to have to be in PDF form. This is not a JPEG, this is PDF form. For the ebook cover, it is a JPEG. It's just a graphic image that's made for digital consumption. So we want to make sure we've got the PDF of the full spread of your manuscript's cover in physical form, and then the JPEG of just the front cover. You are not uploading the entire wraparound cover to your ebook. That is not what we're doing here, just that cover, so that should be cut out just in that rectangular form for you. Now keep in mind, with this, ebook covers are going to be representations of your physical book covers. And these are different sizes. So sometimes you may see different orientations. So you cannot say, what is the ebook cover size? It's going to be a little bit different for everybody because some people are in different layouts. I use for my books 8.5 by 5.5, but other people use 6 by 9. And that means we're going to have slightly different layouts for our ebook covers as well. That's totally okay and that's totally acceptable. We are not redesigning an entire cover to fit a specific ratio, so go with whatever your book has been formatted in. So you are going to be uploading your cover in PDF form for your print-worthy book, the things that are going to be printed physically, and you're going to upload a JPEG for your digitally distributed copy of your book, your ebook. Now with your manuscript, you are going to be uploading, again, another PDF for the physical version of this. It will be printed in PDF form. This is a fixed medium. You're not going to see things moving around to resize for pages. You have to do that before exporting this PDF, or your designer or formatter has to do it for you. This is going to be, again, a fixed representation of your text, and it's not going to get bumped around, which is why we don't also use it for our ebook. Your ebook is going to be uploaded in one of two forms, either in an EPUB or a MOBI. Now, let me break down some of the information on this one. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes into it, but this is just like a very broad overview of it. We actually want you to be using your EPUB file wherever you are uploading your ebook. Yes, I understand that your Kindle reader operates in MOBI. This is going to be the Kindle specific or the Amazon specific version of a digital e-reader book. You can do this, but we don't do this because it's a bigger file. It's a hefty size file, and you can take the same documentation, export it in MOBI and export it in EPUB, and you're going to see a dramatic size difference. Now, ordinarily this might not be a huge issue, but it is when you realize that you get charged a percent or a certain number of cents for every ebook delivery over a certain size if you are going with 70% royalty. So heavier books mean you get charged more. If you have a bigger, more inflated file size like MOBIs are, you are going to then pay more to have that distributed to your reader, meaning you make less on your royalty. Even though you're getting 70%, you still have to pay 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents per delivery, per purchase, and that can really add up. So we want to make sure our file size is as low as possible when it comes to our ebook version, which is why we typically like to import the EPUB version, which weighs less, we'll say. It's a smaller file size, and that is going to then be able to have them transform it into a MOBI, which will, again, lower that file size for you so that it's not as bad in terms of how much you're paying for this. So that is the one time when you can allow it to transform it. That is fine, but everywhere else, and including Amazon, we want to be using those EPUB files. So while you may be sent by your designer both the MOBI and the EPUB version, and hopefully you will be, especially if you're working with a designer, you should have both versions of those. You're going to want to use your EPUB in most cases, and then just have your MOBI on hand just in case you are sending a copy to somebody and they only have a Kindle and they can't open an EPUB. That's your backup file just in case. But in terms of uploading it to these printers and distributors, always go with that EPUB file to save yourself time, effort, stress, and money on the delivery of your ebooks. So with this in mind, you should have several main files back from your designers, or if you're doing this yourself, several main files inside of your folders. You want to make sure you've got your PDF representation of your manuscript and your EPUB and MOBI representations of your ebook manuscript. You need to make sure you have a full wrap PDF of your cover if you are going to be printing this physically. And keep in mind, with this PDF, there are certain color spaces you can and can't use in terms of printing. It will yell at you in the system if you try to put the wrong one in, and you may have to fix something in your files or go back to your designer and have them put it in the correct color space for this, but that's another conversation. If you want to have it, long time graphic designer and professional photographer, we can talk all things techie on the side of printing, so let me know if you want to have that conversation. But you want to make sure that you have your PDF wraparound for that, and then you also want your JPEG version of your book cover. One quick shout out for this, you can have other versions of this for your ebook cover. It could be a PNG, but that goes back to the other discussion of file size. PNGs are going to be a heavier file size than your JPEGs. We're going to want to use JPEGs for our book covers, so make sure you have your JPEG for sure. It's a slightly less resolution, and your PNG is going to be a little inflated because it has a slightly higher resolution and more information stored inside of it. And so you want to make sure you have both of those files if that's something you want, but importing the JPEG because it's going to work better for use in part of your digital distribution of your novel. Now, if you have questions on any of these things, go ahead and drop them down below. I know KDP and Ingram Spark and all of those printers can be difficult to navigate, especially if you're a beginner. So never feel bad about dropping your comments. Even if you feel like they're basic beginner, you should know this comments, because most people don't. I had to learn, and you have to learn too. So drop your questions, drop your comments. I'm going to continue to give you information on how you can be really doing well with working with these printers and distributors, especially in a time when it's kind of difficult to work with some of them and we're having some customer service relation issues. So let me know your struggles, your questions, your whatever, and we'll get those answered for you in upcoming videos and down below in your comments. I always love hearing from you, and hit that subscribe and notification bell, because every single day we are dropping brand new videos to help you level up inside of the publishing world so that you can thrive in this space. I'll see you in the next episode.